D2DNY, Real World HVAC Simplified. And I'm in the attic. You can see I'm up here in the boondocks, man. I'm in the attic. This here is a air handler or indoor unit, a system that I installed. Yeah, so I'm in the attic. All right, so I'm just gonna show you how I wired up this indoor unit, this particular one. This is a special setup. You could use it in your application if you choose to. I don't know if you could see that and make it out. That's a schematic wiring diagram that comes with the unit. Okay. Right there is your thermostat connections. Right there. Thermostat. Alright. There's a schematic. Okay, so this is a hot water coil unit. It's a hot water coil right here. It's connected by PEX tubing. And this here is also a heat pump. Okay? The condensing unit is a heat pump or a heat pump. And this is my little light, Nebo. I love it. Alright. And this unit has a TXV in there as well. There's an equalizer line with a TXV. And a sensing bulb right here. Alright, so here's the juicy stuff. So let me start with the thermostat. Well, this here is my thermostat wire. See black here. That goes to common. Red is 24 volts hot. And if you notice, the 24 volts hot for the thermostat is coming out of a green wire. Well, this green wire is basically the green wire for this device right here. Is a flood detector. Okay, so the green wire is coming off of this flood detector, and the orange wire and this flood detector, I connect that to the 24 volts hot, 24 volts leaving the transformer. So in other words, if this thing senses a flood or water, thermostat, the whole system goes down. No cooling, no fan, thermostat goes blank, so on and so forth. No heating, nothing. Okay, so back to where I left off. So here is a green wire bringing, sending 24 volts to my thermostat. Let me focus that. And so here is the 24 volts coming out of the air handler. See this wire right here, and it goes into, and I use tape because I don't want these wire nuts to twist off, while I'm tucking everything in. So this 24 volts from the unit, boom, and here you get the orange wire which goes to my leak detector. Okay, that's orange. And then we also have 24 volts going to what of this goes to the outdoor condenser, right? 24 volts hot. And then the other 24 volts right here, this one right here, is going 24 volts into the flood detector. And that's it for your 24 volts. Okay, so this one goes to the unit, back to the air handler. This one to my outdoor unit or condenser unit, and this one right here, the skinny one right here, goes into my flood detector. And this 24 volts goes into the flood detector, and that this orange wire takes that same 24 volts from the flood detector, because it's on 24 volts as well, and bring it back up here on the green wire, goes into my thermostat. And of course we know this is the green wire from my thermostat right here, and it goes into the green wire into my air handling units for the fan. And this is the white wire from my thermostat right here, and it goes into the white wire that goes into my air handler for heating. Now this air handler, once you call for heating, once 24 volt goes into that white wire, the thermostat is in heating, it's going to activate. There's relays on the board, and there's also a thermistor that's already factory installed into the hot water coil. And so once you call for heat, what it does, it basically will delay the fan, make the fan ready, wait for the coil to be hot, sensing with the thermistor, so it knows when the coil is hot. And so it won't turn the fan on when you call for heat unless the coil is hot. And it will then, there's two black wires. There's one right here. There's these two black wires right here. These are TT, are basically just going to activate your zone pump on your boiler, or activate your boiler. All right, so these two wires is going back to my boiler. This is from TT, the black wires from the control board, and red and white goes to the boiler. Okay, so that's that. This wire is going back to my boiler. So that's that. All right. As far as the cooling stuff goes, this yellow wire is coming from my thermostat for cooling. Now mind you, this is a heat pump system, a heat pump condensing unit. So there's a terminal O that's involved, a reversing valve. So this yellow wire coming from my thermostat. And so I'll land it on one side of this coil of this relay, right? It's going to activate this relay, the cooling signal from the thermostat. Once that happens, you can see the same 24 volts came down to the bottom of the one side of the normally open contact of the relay, and it's also shunt over to the other side of the normally open contact of this relay, or contacts. So this same wire comes here, and it goes here, same cooling signal. So now this green wire here, because it's a heat pump, once there's cooling signal comes here, it activates the relay, close these contacts between here and here, and then this green wire gets 24 volts. That goes to my reversing valve with my condenser unit, outdoor unit. And then this red wire here, no, not the red wire, the white wire, this white wire here goes to the cooling, or Y1, or Y, and the condensing outdoor unit. So now, when I call for cooling, I have 24 volts here, 24 volts here, and the white wire goes to my Y, and so I got the cooling mode on the condensing unit. Simultaneously, this red wire that's attached to the white wire, same as the cooling terminal that goes outside, this red wire comes to this time delay, and then on the other side of this time delay, this was orange wire goes back into my thermostat, and that's going to go to W2. Okay, so I'm going to use, even though this is we're going to say this is a two-stage heating, one-stage cooling. So if you get what I'm doing so far, W, or W1, is going to be the primary for the heating, which is the hot water coil or the boiler. And then W2, whenever that comes on, I give it a 10 minutes delay on this time delay right here, before it will pass 24 volts through this red wire, which goes back to this relay right here, this terminal, which is the same white wire going outside to my condenser for Y1, or cooling. So you know, on the heat pump, if you activate only Y or Y1, just Y without the reversing valve or without hole, if you activate a Y without hole, then that's heating. So if the thermostat calls for a second stage, it will wait an additional 10 minutes, because the heat pump section of this is not the primary source of heat. That's how I want it. I don't know if the thermostat, maybe the thermostat I can do this, I don't know. I didn't research that. I just simply put a relay here that will do that for me. Okay, and that's pretty much it, as a matter of fact. this yellow wire. This yellow wire. I'm gonna have to put these wires right here. As I'm doing this video, I found that there's a slight mistake in my configuration, because this is the common. This is the common from the unit, the brown wire. There's a brown wire right here. So I'm supposed to take these common and put it over here on the other side of this relay. This is a coil. Up these two terminals right here is a coil. So this right here is going to be activated from the cooling signal, yellow wire. That's one side of the coil, and over here is the other side of the coil. So all this right here is common for my wet switch or my flood detector, common for my outdoor condenser, common for my thermostat, and it's supposed to be common for this relay. So I got to move these group of wires, put it right here. So that was a simple mistake. I saw this right now as I'm going over it, because this is real time. So I just wired it up and thought I'd do a video. So this is real time. So I'm just gonna make that simple correction. Now again, if you see this and you have a situation where you have a heat pump and you want to make it the heat pump secondary and your hot water boiler for the primary, you can use the setup right here. You got questions, just drop it, leave it in the comments section. All right, so stay tuned for the I'll do a video while it's running. Actually, the cooling, that is because I'm sweating right here. It's summer, it's not winter. All right, close out.